This
Go.
conference will now be recorded.
All right. Woo, woo. Everybody, thank you and welcome to the Monday night GOGI Power Up. We're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. However, we're going to mix things up a little bit. Since I was at the Power Up at the park with 4 of our peer coaches on Saturday, they do something inside. Our guys inside do something where they do a quick check-in with everybody in the group to kind of gauge where everybody is, you know, how they're feeling that day, you know, kind of let us know. And that's a good thing for us because we can't see each other right now, you know, until we get brave enough to go on video again like last week. So let's go ahead and let's round robin. Now, we do have some people that are just showing up. I got a caller 1, I got a caller 2. So is it me that's talking? Am I caller 2?
You're caller 2.
Okay, I'm caller 2. That is so weird. All right. Caller 2, how are you feeling today? Well, let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say at this very second in time, I'm an 8. I'm an 8.
Aye.
So,
wait,
caller 1. Okay, well, one is cocking the gun, right? And 10 is, you know, you're like GOGI ultimate freedom status, okay?
Okay.
So I'm an 8. I'm working an 8 right now. All right, so caller 1, if you would like to tell us who you are and let us know where you are from a 1 to 10, that's great. If you want to remain silent, that's great too.
Cricket. So I think that person.
Okay, so let's go on Rebecca. From 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being wonderful. Where are you today?
I'd have to say in the middle, 5.
Hey, yeah. Oh, Rebecca, where's she at? In the middle. Okay, awesome. Rebecca's a 5. Coach Steven, welcome to your
Coach
first GOGI Power Up meeting in the community on the web.
That's right. It only took me 5 minutes to figure out how to get on this thing.
Yeah, well, I've been doing this how long, and I couldn't figure out how to get on anyway. Yeah. So 1 to 10.
I'm a 10 right now.
Wow.
I bet you are a 10 right now. What are we, 11, 12 days out?
11 days.
Wow.
11 days of free man after 20-something years, right?
Awesome.
24 years.
Yeah.
Good for you,
That is awesome, yeah. And Stephen actually facilitated for us on Saturday, so I learned a lot. It was cool. Okay, now, Susie is on. Susie, if you're comfortable to unmute yourself, you can let us know. First of all, welcome, and we're happy to have you here.
Hi.
And hi. From 1 to 10, how are you feeling today?
I would say about a 7. I'm tired.
All right.
All day.
Yeah. Well, then it's good you're a 7 after working all day.
Right.
All right. Monica got all kinds of stuff going on in Monica's life. How is Monica feeling today?
Well, actually right now, I had a very productive day. It was good. I had a good, things worked out well. So I would say I'm an 8 right now.
Oh, woo, that's awesome.
With all
that's really good.
With all the roller coaster action going on, I'm still.
Yep.
I'm all right.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. Because you had roller coaster action going on for show.
Been through it.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead then. Everybody seems like they're, fair to middling, as my redneck kin would say. So we'll go ahead and get started. And as we always do, we're going to start by asking somebody to open the meeting. And I'd ask Rebecca, but she always said that's Monica's job. But Rebecca, would you like to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
We call this meeting to order. The purpose of GOGI is to provide simple tools to anyone interested in making more positive decisions in their lives. The goal of the PowerUp is to create a purpose and meaning of service for that week. That is where the GOGI gets their power. We power up by living a life of service.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Coach Stephen, would you like to read the 12 tools of GOGI for positive decision making, please?
Yeah. First tool is boss of my brain, then belly breathing, 5-second light switch, positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions, claim responsibility, let go, forgive, what if, reality check, and ultimate freedom.
Perfect. Thank you. So a quick recap of last week's tool. What was our tool last week, guys?
5-second light switch.
5-second light switch. And let me jump over to that one just real quick. So what are some of the high points you guys, what did you guys like with about 5-second light switch last week? What were you able to use? How were you able to use it?
That you can take an extra 5 seconds to think about what you're about to do or say and catch yourself and switch it. If it's a negative reaction or thought, you can switch it to a more positive thought or action in that 5 seconds.
Exactly. So just quickly, the statement of ownership for 5-second light switch is I can flip my 5-second light switch and instantly change any negative thought to a positive action. There is no negative thought more powerful than my positive action when I flip my 5-second light switch.
Hey, I'm actually having a
Okay. So
we're having a web meeting for GOGI.
what does anybody have any examples of how they used 5-second light switch last week?
I actually used it last week. I can tell you.
Did you?
Yeah, because
Perfect.
normally, this is not my tool of choice because I'm not a reactor. But I actually was feeling like I went to the store and I'm at lunch and I'm like, oh my God. So I grabbed apples and then I went past the cake and I went, you know what? I'm not going to do that. That would be bad because I'm feeling terrible anyway. So I went up to the counter and said, I bought Tic Tacs. So I thought that was way better for me than buying the cake that I really wanted to eat.
Good job.
That is awesome. So did you proceed to suck all the sweet off the Tic Tacs and then put them back in?
No, hell no. Seriously, I probably only ate like 3 of them that day.
Conference call and a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, what's going on with the background noise?
Hey, Stephen, Coach Stephen,
I think.
Coach Stephen, can you push the little mute?
If you're
Can
going
you see a little mute?
Tap the
A mute?
screen and hit the.
I would if I could find it.
You gotta.
Yeah, see it. Oh, Monica.
Look,
Yeah.
but if I mute him, and I can unmute him.
Okay. I
Right.
got it.
It's
You
over
got it?
Talking to that guy. Go ahead.
this little,
Okay, he's done talking to that guy. All right.
okay.
Okay, so we learned basic. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead.
I used it actually today with Michael because he was about to get cussed out, and I used my 5-second light switch to try to get more positive thoughts and negate my negative decision.
There you go. Boston Mayhem was able to do a 5-second light switch. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't even think about that right now because I'm going to get mad again. But
Okay.
Yeah, let's not think about that. Let's quickly, before we jump back over, go over our science. Just really quick, go over again, space data shift equals change, okay? Because that was the science behind a 5-second light switch is that the space we need is to analyze the old thought, right? We say, hey, okay, here it is. Here's old thought. Like an old thought comes to your brain. You're self-aware of that. You say, oh, old thought. Okay, so there's the space you need to, and then you give yourself the 5 seconds to then pull in new data, right, which is our new positive action. So we take in the data. By taking in that data, that creates a wedge and a shift in our mental thinking. So we wedge, and then we start to create a new neural pathway by just thinking in a different way. And so there's that shift, and as we shift, that creates that change in thinking. And if we maintain that change long enough, then that becomes a new habit, and it goes from the smart part of our brain, which is what we use to start to create habits, and then goes to the back of our brain once it becomes a habit. Okay, so the space to analyze our old thought, the data is the positive action, which then shifts the way we think, creates a change, which creates a new neural pathway, and after we do that long enough, we have a new way of thinking, and now a habit, a better habit. So
Tamara,
I don't know if that makes, I mean, it's starting to make sense to me, but I absolutely love the science behind it. So
I have a question for you.
Yes.
How long does it take to switch an old habit for a new habit?
Well, the books and Google, well, people used to say 21 days. However, they are finding now that it could take much longer than that. Or it just depends on the person, and it depends how deeply embedded an old habit is, to how long. So it can take as early as 21 days, but it can take longer. So they are kind of fluctuating. The powers that be, the science guys, are fluctuating on that. Okay. But I think 21 days is pretty fast. Yeah. I think it's pretty fast. And if it's a deeply embedded old habit, I think we're breaking that old habit while creating a new habit. So it could take a little bit longer. Right. But let me ask you, Rebecca, what's the key? Sorry, what's ADCR? What is the key to that, to changing into that new habit? What do you need?
To take the bad boss of my brain.
Right, but do you also need patience and not to give up, right?
Oh, yeah.
So no matter how long it takes.
Motivation.
Right, exactly. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Ernesto's getting ready to come on the line. Hold on. Hey. Yes, it is. Hold on. Okay, I got you. Hi. You guys say hi to Ernesto.
Hi, Ernesto.
Coach Ernesto from, where are you? Solano.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Ernesto, please meet peer coach Stephen Schrader, who has been a free man for 11 days.
Hi, how you doing, Ernesto?
Hello. What's your name?
My name is Steve Schrader.
What's your name?
Steven.
Coach Steven?
Yeah.
Oh. Is some of your work in the Greek GOGI book?
I didn't hear that. Say that again.
Do you have some of your work in the Green GOGI book? Steven?
Some of it is, yeah.
Wow.
I remember. Yeah, because I remember your name, Steve, Coach Steven, in the Greek GOGI book.
Yeah.
He's also on some of the videos a few of the videos in GOGI Media on YouTube, which you probably don't have access to, okay. But yeah. And he was with us this weekend at the PowerUp at the park. So we're very happy to have him out here.
That's really amazing, and I think having you present and helping GOGI in any way that GOGI needs out there in the community is just going to give GOGI a bigger and stronger voice for the community to understand how important it is to be GOGI out there, so that GOGI can be strengthened and encouraged from the families of the prisoners who are inside, like myself, who we just need that support out there to be GOGI all the way around, and even coming home, if families, for example, my mom and sisters and daughters got involved with GOGI, I mean, transition back to society would be a lot better as far as everyday life, because I can imagine there's a lot of challenges that you're going through right now, being out 11 days. How's that going?
It's going great, and I'm glad I have this program because I use it every day. It's a crazy world out here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a lot different than when you first went into coming out 20-something years later.
Yep. People out here don't have the advantage of having all of that training that we had in there. So you always have to remember that when you're dealing with people who haven't gone through all the self-help and all the GOGI stuff that we've done.
Right.
Yes. It's definitely tough sometimes because they don't. There's a lot of people who don't have the discipline to foster the brain and to exercise positive words and just blurt out whatever is going on in their head, and then words can be damaging. And so when there's no self-control practice, then just damage is happening. So GOGI is very effective inside, and I imagine it's very effective outside if it's continuing to practice out there. So I'm really excited to hear about you being out there and getting involved with GOGI, because
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We need more
Are you there?
Tamara needs help. Like everyone needs help to get this thing functioning the way it needs to function, so that infinite others can benefit from it. Not just prisoners.
Right.
So.
Right,
GOGI. Well, we already have Steven in a headlock. He's in a GOGI headlock already. So believe me. Hey, Ernesto, I know your time is brief, so you want to go ahead and give us your weekly feedback on the tool this week?
Positive thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, positive thoughts. Oh man, you know what? I seem to get stuck when I was in solitary confinement for almost 8 years. 2010 being a turning point of my life, but it's really difficult to have positive thoughts in a place that just feels like it felt like it was suffocating the life out of me. And just seeing four walls around me. But you know what? Solitary confinement was just it was almost like a metaphor of how I felt inside of my heart. I felt like I was in solitary confinement within myself. And so positive thoughts were just nearly impossible for me with the trauma and the experiences I had of growing up in the bottom of the barrel kind of life. But when I decided to be GOGI, to change my life, to just try something different, it really started within myself. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't have to be a gang member, prisoner who's never getting out of solitary confinement or prison. I can be somebody. I can change my world in my mind and in my heart in this little room, this little solitude by myself. And I started doing education and other self-help groups. But when I found GOGI, and I learned this tool about the power behind positive thought, you know what? Simple things like getting a tray with a dry hamburger bun and a cold hamburger meat, and just imagining that I was at a McDonald's or some type of place where they serve this amazing burger. I assemble it, and next thing I'm taking a bite of this delicious hamburger, and then thinking, you know what? This could be everything else. I don't have to be a prisoner that's sitting here rotting away in my boxers and t-shirt. I can be a prisoner who's making the necessary steps and changes to shape my future. I don't know if I'm going to be back here all this time, and I don't know if I'm going to get out of prison, but I'm going to do something with myself. And I stay focused on becoming a youth counselor. I know at the time it was unrealistic, sitting in that concrete tomb, but I stepped into that mentality. I stepped into that mentality thinking, you know what? From this moment forward, I can set the direction to my life and really overcome my past by just thinking that, you know what? I am going to be a youth counselor. I'm going to become a youth counselor, and I'm going to help as many people as I can in the process of becoming a youth counselor. And that's what I did. I went from being validated gang associate, never being out of solitary confinement, possibly prison, to getting my GED, getting a college degree, becoming a GOGI peer coach, creating the gang course for GOGI, getting out and just being a positive influence to infinite others wherever I went. Today, I'm at Solano getting certified as a drug and alcohol counselor, basically crossing the T's and dotting the I's of becoming that youth counselor. I set my mind to become in the most impossible situation that I was in. So when you really give power to positive thoughts, that simple little tool can influence your words, can influence your actions, can help you be boss of your brain, to stay hopeful, to have faith, to be positive, powerful, productive everywhere you go, starting in the mind and in the heart. And that's just one example of how I have worked and fell in love with positive thoughts. I love that tool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're also about 5 years past your parole date to get out, right? So you're going to be out here soon too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully that's going to be coming up soon.
Yeah. I try not to think too much about the 5 years overdue on my youth offender hearing. I try to stay positive, thinking that, you know what, this extra time is giving me the necessary time that I need to prepare for the future as far as getting my my certification. And FYI, I'm going for a second.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I'm going for a second degree in a few months in sociology, so that's amazing. And it gives me more time to, do these phone meetings with GOGIs to add an amazing story to the amazing GOGI family and all the amazing stories out there from every one of you guys.
Thank you, Ernesto. Do you guys have any comments or questions for Ernesto before CDCR hangs up on him?
I think that it probably is. It's good not to focus on what hasn't happened yet. You're right. And it's just, you are just building up your resume of experience and knowledge, and it's just going to make it more powerful for you when you come home.
He's building up.
Yeah, and getting that college work for free, right?
Yeah.
That stuff will cost you some money out here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rebecca. I'm sorry, hon.
I said he's building up his resume for awesomeness.
What? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what was that, Rebecca?
I said he's building up his resume for awesomeness.
Yes, resume for awesomeness. That's right. And from what he told me, he's got a cool new haircut too to go with it. He got like a GOGI fade going on. So, all right.
I just hope that my story can help infinite others, and it can help GOGI share the message of eternal freedom and being of service to everyone out there, the community. And if we all live by that, then we can really make a difference in a micro approach, and with time it can become a macro approach, meaning all the intimate connections that we have with people in everyday life and everyday as we go about our days. And over time, the more people that we influence in a positive way can also influence other people in a positive way. And next thing you know, we're building GOGI communities of just awesomeness and positivity. And you know what? It's not delusional thinking, right? Because some people have said, you know what? You're in a freaking cult. That's delusional. But you know what? I'm living it. I influence prisoners around me all the time by just intimate connections that I build with prisoners everywhere I go. And then next you know, they're spreading the message of positivity. And it grows and it grows and it grows. And that's how GOGI became what it is today, because of people who take the time, just a few minutes every day, to be productive, powerful, and positive in the way you interact with another human being. So that's important.
Well, and I know I've heard the whole word cult before too, and it's not a cult, it's a culture. And any kind of a culture can easily start off with that, what people would view it as a cult, but it's positive in a way that it spreads.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Oh, there you go. So it spreads, and and it's something that is very positive. And heck, you know, if I got to be in a cult, I'll be in GOGI, because at least I'm happy and being of service to others, and nobody's drinking any Kool-Aid or anything like that, you know. So it's good.
Yeah. So I got one question for Steven before this phone call ends.
Okay, go ahead.
Steven. So I've been hearing
You have 30 seconds remaining.
some challenges out there, right? So you're gonna commit to Pamela and her objective of getting GOGI out there in the community.
I don't think I have a choice anymore.
He doesn't have a choice anymore, he said. Very, very, very smart man.
We need.
Oh, he's gone. All right. Thank you. It's always nice to have him call in. All right. So let's get back over. Let's see. So we went over our tools. We did our recap. So according to the national calendar, students of GOGI are studying the tool of what this week? Drum roll. Where are we? Oh, wow, that was good.
Thank you.
Positive thoughts. Woo, woo, woo. All right. And positive thoughts are in which tool section?
Tools of choice.
Tools of choice. Yeah, that. Yeah, that right there. Yeah. All right.
Make your choice.
So the tools of choice focus on the shared goal of shifting a student's perspective to one of control over their behaviors, thoughts, and feelings in order to increase the individual's quality of life. And I meant to pull the background off of this picture, but I didn't have a chance. Daniel Outlaw, I love his. He's one of the GOGI students and a GOGI leader who did a lot of the drawings that we have in the books, and I just love this one. And the reason you're seeing it called TWA is why, Stephen? Why did it used to be called TWA?
Why did it used to be called that? Well, the letters stand for thoughts, words, and actions.
Yep. And in the pink book, the first book, the pink book, which was the female prison book, it was TWA was one tool. So positive thoughts, words, and actions were all one tool. So they called it TWA. And then as time went on, they realized they really needed to break it out into 3 separate tools. So you will see that it is going to be referred to in certain points as TWA because a lot of the science behind the tools was actually in that book. And that's where I'm pulling a lot of it out of. And I just found out from Coach that she's revamping the pink book. And she's going to actually call it just the pink book. It's going to be a book for women, and she's just going to like kind of update it a little. So we'll have that to be looking forward to. And then she said once the men start complaining enough, then she'll do one for men as well, which I think might be a revision of the blue book. So, so the first thing we're going to do, since the science behind the tools covers all 3 of the tools, we'll go ahead and just knock that out. And just read this little section here so we understand, you know, what's going on in our brains when we're going over the tools. Who would like to, oh, welcome Joanne, welcome Alfred. Okay, maybe they're not.
Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hi. All right, Joanne and Alfred in the house. Woo, woo. Okay, so who would like to read? Who would like to read? Oh, it's just one page. Look at Tamara trying to condense stuff down. Who wants to read this page for us? I know, right?
God, I've been missing out. Shit.
All right, Monica.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay, Monica, lips, you get to read. Go ahead.
Because you know how much I hate reading.
Do you really?
No.
You don't. You're so good at it.
I'm a good reader.
Okay,
Positive thoughts, but I always yawn. I don't know why. Positive thoughts, words, and actions. Positive TWA. A recent scientific study conducted by the University of Michigan explored positive attitude as it relates to human growth and success.
That's not me, FYI. That's not me.
Okay.
I'll correct that later. Go ahead.
Please correct
Whatever.
it. Not whatever.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Invested
Mom.
a
We'll
great
talk about it.
deal of time and resources and came up with an obvious result. They found a correlation or a link between having a positive attitude and experiencing positive outcomes. It may seem like common sense, but very few of us actually focus on the positive things in our life. However, most people agree that looking at the brighter side of life is important. Positive thoughts, positive words, and positive actions offer positive results, even if it is only in your positive perception or positive experience of negative stimuli. With relationships, oh God, stop doing that. With relationships, you are happier when positive attributes are your focus, even if the other person never changes. Think about it. How much of your thinking, words, and actions are negative? Are they negative because your situation is negative? Are you reacting negatively and justifying it by the situation? Is the other person wrong? They did it? Are you being negative because the world needs to be supportive for you to be positive? Do things need to be positive around you in order for you to be positive as well? Do you really want to give up control and live in constant reaction to your environment? Or do you want to be the boss? Some people have negative viewpoints. Their significant other has 101 faults that make them unhappy. Their situations keep them from being internally happy. Some people tend to blame their outlooks on situations, their partner, their job, the system, anyone but themselves. Do you really believe the following statements? I'd be happier if I was at home. I'd be happy if I had money. I'd be happy if I had a good paying job. Inmates with positive TWA and a wide group of positive acquaintances tend to cope better. They hold positive qualities during incarceration and also when they return home to their families. What if you were to focus on 3 of your best qualities regularly? Your 3 best qualities will help you with your thoughts, words, and actions. Positive thoughts, positive words, and positive actions will come out of your focus on what is right, not what is wrong. Positive TWA allows you to use techniques proven by scientists and human behavioralists. Positive thoughts lead directly to positive words. It is difficult to be negative when you are thinking positive thoughts. The two are linked. Positive words lead to positive actions. Positive actions broadcast who you are to the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So one little
okay. So what is the correlation between focusing on positive things and how we actually feel or act as a result of it?
They're directly linked.
Okay. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, then what's going to be manifest? How if that's manifest in what?
You're going to constantly have negative thoughts.
Right?
And you're going to feel
you're going to bring negativity to the people that you're around.
Yep. And no one's going to want to be around you.
Go ahead.
So no one's going to want to be around you if you're negative all the time.
Right. So then you're going to get depressed because you're alone.
Right. But you're the problem because you're always negative.
Right.
So, but you want to blame other people. No one likes me, you know. Yep. And you make a, you know.
I can't do this right. I can't do that right.
You got to be a friend to have friends. It's kind of like that.
Well,
so if we are saying that our thoughts will then lead to our words, that will then lead to our actions. If we're saying that about positive thoughts, words, and actions, then the opposite would be true. Negative thoughts lead to negative words, which lead to negative actions. And that is going to be a constant revolving door in our life, correct?
Yes.
So what are some of the things that it brought out that we should ask ourselves or maybe think about to determine, you know, what we need to focus on?
For me, it always comes. Go ahead.
No, go.
For me, it always comes down to the 3 Ps. Every thought, word, and action has to be positive, powerful, and productive. If it's not, then I'm not doing it.
Very good. Exactly. If it's not, then what? We got to choose something more positive, don't we?
Or more powerful, or more productive.
Right.
Exactly.
You could have 2 of those and not necessarily the other one, or one of the 3, and you got to try to fit them all together.
Right.
Well, for me, I always found they go hand in hand. If you don't, they all really 3 have to align. If you have just 1 or just 2, then you're still allowing negativity to seep its way into your program.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
so I always think, sorry, Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 is bad, right? So we gotta have all 3 for GOGI. And only us old people are gonna catch that one right there, okay? Young people are like, what? Who is Meatloaf?
Who are you calling old?
I'm not. Why are we eating meatloaf? What's going on?
Yeah, why are we eating meatloaf? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Okay, so as we're going through and we're just touching on the science behind it, it makes sense. Doesn't it make sense? You think positive. You're gonna say things that are positive. You're gonna, act in a positive way, because regardless of whether it's negative or positive, our thoughts, our words, and our actions tell the world who we are today. So we're either going to be telling them we're a negative person or we're a positive person. That's pretty much our choice. We all want to choose positive.
So who wants to be negative Nancy?
Yeah. Not me, yeah, and I don't want to be her sister Nellie. So, you know, no negative Nancy's, no negative Nellie. All right.
I love you guys.
Okay. So as we get into positive thoughts, who wants to tell us what our statement of ownership is?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
My positive thoughts are set the direction of my life from this moment forward. I focus on positive thoughts, even when it's difficult or challenging. No matter what is happening, I can create positive thoughts.
Thank you. And we should always remember to repeat this week's statement of ownership as often as possible. When we get out of bed, before our meals, during a break, and before sleeping. Write the statement for added emphasis. Your weekly statement of ownership reinforces this week's tool.
Oh, Jesus.
Rebecca, you want to remind us of some ways we can do this? We can remind ourselves?
We can set an alarm, mark it on sticky notes around the house or in your car, flashcards.
Yep, exactly. We can get a set of Monica's flashcards, right?
Yep.
And carry that one to the tool. That's right. We can sticky note it to remind us to say the statement of ownership at a certain time every day. Maybe right before we go to bed, so we have that as we go mimis. Whatever it is that can help us to remind ourselves throughout the day, throughout the week. Because we all know what we think and what we put into our mind is what's going to stay there. So positive.
Perception is
a constant reminder.
Mm-hmm.
And then you repeat it too. When you see it, make sure you repeat it, even if you have to do it out loud. I think more often than not, when you say something out loud, it has a better tendency to stick in your brain.
Yeah, which is why they say when you go to meet somebody, you say their name back to them. You know, they say, I'm so-and-so. You shake their hand and you, okay, hello, so-and-so. It has a tendency to put it, not in my brain, because it doesn't go anywhere in my brain. But with most people, yeah,
it does. It keeps circling, like it's on that hamster wheel is what it does.
The voices pass it around. Hey, do you know anybody by that name? Yeah, I went out with somebody by that. Oh, he was a jerk. Yeah, yeah. We don't do that often. All right, so what weeks do we study positive thoughts?
4th week in January, 4th week in April, 4th week of July, 4th week of October, which that's where we are.
That's where we are. And as Stephen brought up earlier, the key words for this tool are, is it powerful? Is it productive? And is it positive? All right. So the goal this week then is to practice being the boss of our brain, right? In our thinking, making sure that we're choosing thoughts that are powerful, productive, and positive. And if we do this, like, I can't remember this guy's name either, but if we do this, then we'll be using the tool positive thoughts. He did one of these of himself for all 3 of the P's, which is really cool. Okay. All right. So who wants to go ahead and read the tool intro for us?
I'll read.
Okay.
Positive thoughts. You are the boss of your brain, and you can create any thought you want to create. When you force your brain to create positive thoughts, you are actually using that tool, positive thoughts. Your brain will follow your orders, and if you use the tool positive thoughts over and over again, eventually your brain will begin to create positive thoughts on its own. For part of the 3 P's, positive thoughts belongs to the section of tools called Tools of Choice. In this section of tools, positive thoughts, positive words, and positive actions enables the GOGI student to create possibilities where some people say there are none. While the 3 tools in this section are linked, it is through positive thoughts that the creation of your life becomes very interesting.
Thank you. You want to go ahead and tell us how to use the positive thoughts, please?
Okay. You can use positive thoughts by considering your thoughts and asking yourself, is this thought powerful? Is it productive? Is it positive? When you ask yourself these 3 questions, you will become more in control of your thoughts. The 3 P's. Is it powerful? Is it productive? Is it positive? If the answer is no, then pick a more positive thought. I would say that if you want to relieve stress and clear your mind, you have to change your thinking. Don't you notice the difference when you're thinking positive than when you're thinking negative? In my experience, by always using positive thoughts, my life has been uplifting. People can tell they are in better moods. My thinking has never been clearer. No stress, and I embrace positive thoughts. Antonio G.
Thank you, Antonio. Okay, so let's get into an activity, guys.
Woo!
All right. Let's think about our day today, and then we're going to consider the 3 Ps. In small groups, which we're pretty much a small group here, although 7 people on the call, we're pushing towards that 12, where we'd have to break into another group, and I don't know how we do that. So in our group, we're going to share powerful, productive, and positive thoughts with each other. Okay. Remember, only powerful, productive, and positive thoughts are to be shared. Sounds simple, right? Not quite as simple as it seems, and it may seem strange to find something positive about a negative situation, but positive thoughts are your key to change. So my question is, if you're saying all this positive stuff, how is a negative situation going to come up that you need to speak positive about it? I don't know, but maybe we'll find out. Okay. So I don't remember doing this. Do you guys remember doing this activity before? The last 3 times we studied this? How weird. I do not remember this at all. Interesting. Okay. All right. So, Stephen, what's the best way to do this? Because I don't remember this one.
Well,
or is it better to do the other activity? Because we have a second one.
Well.
Oh, here's it. Have one person state a situation that might be considered negative. Each group member state.
One person. That might be easier.
I think I kind of understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen.
Tell us, Rebecca.
My name is not Rebecca.
No, I thought Rebecca was saying she understood it.
I'll go ask you. Go ahead, Stephen.
Okay, so inside what we did for this exercise was you would stand up and go around the circle and say something positive about each person.
Oh, we did do that.
Right. And then it would come back around.
Michael's calling. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
So,
this was part of the positive affirmations and reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We were positive affirmation. I remember that.
Right.
Okay. I don't remember this wording being like this in there then. Okay.
Right.
All right. So who wants? Okay. So I'll start. Okay. So I will say something positive about Stephen, and then everybody else has to rebut back and say, no, let me tell you something negative. Is that what we do?
Well,
what?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I needed you guys to say no.
We
don't do that, Tamara.
Side. Wow.
Hang on.
I want to make sure we all understand.
Hang on a second. I got a little bit ahead of myself. That's the exercise for positive words.
Oh, I was wondering because it didn't seem like this. Okay, You know what, guys? For the sake of time, let's do this. One at a time, we're going to state a situation that may be considered negative, and then the rest of us will say one positive thing that could come out of that situation. Because I do remember doing this one, and it was interesting what everybody said. All right, so I'll start.
That's a good start.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here it is. Next month is going to be 12 months that I've been on probation. Okay. My 3 years of probation, I have 3 years probation. After 18 months, I can request to have the rest of it smoothed away. All right. But I'm thinking of going up next month because I've got the approval of my probation officer and I've been doing really good to actually ask to get off 6 months even earlier than that. But I'm afraid, I'm afraid that I'm going, the negative is that I'm afraid that it's going to be too soon and I'm going to get denied. So there's my negative.
All right. Well, even if you were denied, then you would just have to try again in 6 months. So you're no worse off. As I see it, I think you might get out or you might get off early and then be able to then be able to be a free range chicken. You'll be able to come and go and do what you want.
Yeah, because the whole purpose is is for Coach to get me back into the prison to do GOGI. So, okay, so thank you. So that's true. I'm no worse off, I guess.
No, you aren't. And it might happen, and then you will be able to go in there and motivate some more people to be, part of the cult.
Monica.
Oh.
But it's a positive one.
Yes, it is.
All right.
It is.
It's also more time for you to work on yourself.
That's true.
Better be able to share what you've learned with others.
That's true. Kind of similar to what Ernesto said, right? The 5 years he's waited has been a benefit to him. So even if I get denied, right? Okay.
Yeah.
More time for me to work on myself. Okay. All right. So, okay, now I pick Steven. Steven.
Yes. Okay, so.
Hit us with a negative. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have one from today. I guess a couple of you now know, I just got out of prison, and I'm in a
everybody did on blast.
that I don't know. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm living in LA.
Hey, that gives you GOGI street cred. So go ahead and.
So I've lived in the city. I'm living in a city now that I've never even been to before, and I'm trying to find my way around. And I had an appointment today at the parole office that was a mandatory appointment. And I rode a bicycle that I borrowed miles through the hot sun because LA is really hot, and got all the way to this office. And I went inside and I waited 20 minutes, and I went into this big conference room and I sat there for another 10 minutes, and then I was told the person I was meeting with wasn't going to be there.
Sorry.
So
Welcome to
that
parole.
could have been really negative. There could have been a lot of negative thoughts that came out of that. But instead, what I chose to do was enjoy my ride back home as just some exercise. I was out getting some exercise and seeing some more of LA I've never seen before.
That's good. And now you know where the parole office is exactly and how long it takes you to get there.
Yeah, and because the last time I went there, I got a ride, so now I know how to get there on my own. So
Right.
that's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and also too, your dedication, you going all the way down there, spending all that time, and not losing your crap when they told you somebody that wasn't there, which a lot of people probably could have done. That probably set a good example for them. They probably they'll remember that you handled yourself properly.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
okay, Steven, pick somebody.
I don't have all the names in front of me. I remember Monica. How about Monica?
He doesn't have the little sidebar.
Yeah, he's one step at a time with him, Mon.
Yeah,
I'm proud of him for even being on the webinar.
No, I'm just saying,
that part.
I can't see that. Just because there's the little bar.
I'm technologically stunted, so give me some time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he chose you, Mon. So
Of course.
give us one more.
Yeah, because you keep saying my name out loud.
No, actually, it's because I see your name at the top of my screen. It says Monica is talking. So
Monica's talking. Mm-hmm.
So talk some more.
Okay. Let's see. Well, that's my dog.
Hi, dog.
Yeah, he's woofy. He was good. Well, as some of you know, I didn't get to go to the lovely meeting this weekend because my mother-in-law wound up in the hospital with a stroke, or actually they said it was a blood clot. So she got a helicopter ride to another hospital and the blood clot actually dissipated. So that was a good thing. But after, I offered to take her home, picking her up and take her home since it was going to be really far. She accepted. And when as I was going to get her, she decided that she was going to spend the weekend with me. So I was like, okay. So it was a little stressful. I wasn't sure about it, but I was really okay with it. And I was really glad because at least she could see being at my house how calm and mellow it is compared to the nightmare of where she lived. So I didn't get to I planned to go see my nephew and niece's new babies, but I didn't get to do that either because I was with her. So there were a couple things I didn't get to do that I wanted to do, but I took it, I didn't really let it bother me so much because I felt that being there for her was way more important. And her health is very important to me. And so I kind of took a whole situation and just really did try to make it positive. And when I took her home last night, her nephew looked at her and said, "Guy, Auntie, you look great. You look better than what you looked before." And I said, "Yeah, that's because she's been working and resting. And that's what she needs to do."
Yeah.
So it's
well,
nice.
You know what? And this was good, Monica. This was good because this is that foundation that you've been trying to lay to try to get her to come live with you, right?
Yeah.
So this was probably a good experience for her.
Right, because she saw she loved my dog and she realized that, it's not, I only beat her once a day, so it was okay. I didn't leave her. It was all right.
We'll talk about that in 3 weeks on positive actions.
Yeah. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, but what else happened was she was gone to the hospital, and during that time, her house is in foreclosure, so they got a sale notice on their fence, on their gate, about November is the sale date. So it spurred all those people that, live there for free to start cleaning and getting rid of and moving all the crap that needed to be moved and cleaning up the house in preparing for either they will have to move or they need to sell stuff so they can keep the house. So it was a big motivator, and that was a big positive thing. So it helped. So I was happy about that for her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you want to pick somebody, Mon?
I'm picking. Oh, I think people went away. We have 5 people now. Oh, so Rebecca's arrived. We're not picking. Joanne. We'll give Rebecca a moment.
Who got their music going loud?
Yeah, who has the carnival music going?
It's in the hallway.
Alfred, are you getting down with your bad self?
No, that's someone. They're working out in the hallway down the way. I'm trying to find the quietest corner in the building, and I can't.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I chose you, Joanne. Are you there, or did your husband call? Maybe she's gone.
What are we doing?
Okay.
So,
it looks like Joanne might have had to go away. So you want to go with?
Offline. Okay, so Rebecca.
Yes, ma'am.
What you have to do is you have to say something that was negative, and we can all help you, or you can tell us how it turns out to be positive.
Oh, that's easy. I was trying to call an insurance company today, Geico, and I asked them how much it would be if I wanted to add Uber and Lyft on my insurance. So they took that as me already driving for Uber and Lyft. Now I had before, like 2 years ago, driven for them. And for whatever reason, they took that and ran with it and wouldn't let me get a personal insurance policy. So I said, I just want personal. I don't want Uber and Lyft. Well, you have to get in touch with Uber and Lyft in order to and get a letter from them stating that you don't work for them anymore. Well, it's damn near impossible to do that. I finally got a hold of them after almost.
What happened?
She went away. Because Joanne lost audio.
Audio. Well, Rebecca has a tendency to mute herself sometimes. There she is. Welcome back, Rebecca.
Too bad tomorrow doesn't do that.
Myself.
Oh yeah, you mute yourself sometimes.
It just goes off. It just like for whatever reason.
Okay.
So, I don't know. What's the last thing you guys heard?
She was still talking to herself. The last thing you were saying, it was darn near impossible to get Uber or Lyft to say you don't work for them anymore or whatever.
Okay. So I finally got a hold of them. I finally emailed them and they sent me a letter saying I didn't work for them. So in the meantime, I'm like almost cussing out the girl at Geico because she's being ridiculous. And
yeah.
I ended up like calming down and started thinking more positive and trying to have positive action. So I called them back. I apologized. I got the letter, sent it to them, and ended up going with Geico for my insurance for 4 hours. And then I canceled it.
That's which is another subject, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, so sometimes bad, negative things that happen are good because it helps us practice our tools, right? We get to practice our tools. If nothing bad ever happens, what the heck? We never get to use our tools. So,
I just don't understand why I can't use positive words with anybody.
Well, first of all, I mean, you're from Massachusetts, okay? You got that whole East Coast thing going on, so give yourself some time.
I don't know. I've been given it time. I'm 38 years old. How much more time do I need?
Oh, you need more time.
You're positive with us. You're positive with us, though.
Hey,
Rebecca.
Hey, thanks for making me feel old.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I know. Steven's pushing 60, so.
Hey.
Just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
He's not. I'm just kidding. He's your age, Monica. You guys are the same age, I think.
Oh. The
55.
cane bears. Yeah.
55.
Well,
Rebecca, you're always positive with us. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing.
I am, because you guys are always positive with me, but everybody else can. Never mind.
Yeah, I know. I'm on your personal page a lot, Rebecca. I know. All right, Rebecca, pick somebody. I think Alfred's the last person.
no.
Alfred. Is Joanne back?
Oh no, yeah, no, Joanne. I don't know what happened. Joanne couldn't get audio.
She said she lost the audio. Now she sent me a thing that says this site is not secure. She's getting a message saying her site is not secure, the go-to meeting.
Okay, my friend Alfred, you can go.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. The CDCR is after us. I knew it would happen. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Let me see. Think of a negative situation. Okay. Today I was working in the kitchen, and the main supervisor came today, and the other two cooks are like, I'm listening to them, and they're like, man, is he gonna be here all day? And because this guy is just a pain in the butt to be around, right? Because he's always nitpicking at everything, and in the beginning I was like that too, like, man, when is this guy gonna leave? I can't work around him, you know. But then I just figured that if I do what I need to do, then I'm not gonna catch his attention, you know. And
Right.
so I just went about my day, and instead of me focusing on the way he acts and his behavior, I was able to just focus on my work and just turn that negative into a positive. I wasn't bothered by him one bit, and it was all good. I wasn't tripping, you know.
So you were able to have peace from that negative situation.
Exactly. Because instead of focusing on him and what his behavior, what he does, I just focused on me and the task at hand, and I just went ahead and did what I had to do.
Good job. That's good. That's similar to something that Steven told us on Saturday, is that when something happens, you know, I think you said something like, okay, it's happening around me, but it's not happening to me, or something like that. What did you say, Steven?
Stuff happens. It doesn't happen to me. It just happens. It's my choice whether I want to accept it or not.
Right. Okay, exactly. And so Alfred just allowed whatever to happen, and he kept on doing his thing. Awesome.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
I think the guys are stronger at this because they've had to go through more crap than we've.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I'm still working on that. Okay, so whoever's got all the background noise, you can go and mute yourself again.
Okay, hold on. There I go.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Alfred.
We're so mean to him.
All right. No, I didn't know if it was him or not. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, when the voices in my head get loud, you guys tell me to.
Actually,
all right, so Coach Steven, would you like to read from Coach Taylor Positive Thoughts? This is actually from her blog today.
Uh-oh, wait a minute.
He can't.
If you can see it.
I need my glasses.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, I'm old.
I want everybody to know I kept my trap shut, okay? I want credit for that. I didn't say anything about the glasses.
I didn't say anything.
Wow.
Because everyone makes fun of me, so I don't say that.
Hey, Tamara, can you mute yourself?
Oh, you just became Monica's best friend.
Oh.
Fine, just read it.
Okay. From Coach Taylor, Positive Thoughts. Positive thoughts create space in your mind for possibilities you might not otherwise consider. If you are simply focused on all the negative that is going on around you, when you focus on the negative, your brain becomes very skilled at finding more negative for you to consider. So the cycle begins with observation and contemplation and on the negative, and continues until you are certain there is only negative in your world.
God.
With positive thoughts, you're able to see beyond and past the negative to that tiny gem of awesome that sometimes gets buried beneath the muck. With one single use of positive thoughts, you can find tiny opening for change. With positive thoughts, you can find that common ground with others, that place where you do agree or where you share something in common. The GOGI tools of choice enable you to change your relationships and even change your environment without requiring others to cater to your needs. With positive thoughts, an angry person is simply an angry person who will not be in your space. The minute you decide to move away and find someone more positive. With positive thoughts, a prison cell can become a person's university of change. With positive thoughts, a life sentence can become a call to be of service to others and a challenge to prove your value as a solution to your community. The tools of choice permit you to rewrite your situation, regardless of how negative it may be or feel. And with the positive thoughts you create, you are actually creating the mental space and the possibility that the negative situation is not forever lasting. If you choose to wallow in the reality of the negativity, situation just might remain miserable forever. Is when you employ your GOGI tools, especially positive thoughts, that you see beyond the obvious to the potential beneath the surface. There's always a gem there just waiting to be uncovered. GOGI students are uncovering gems at a rapid rate. Join in the fun, focus on what is beyond the negative. You can be the solution our world needs and become a manufacturing plant for positive thoughts that you share with the world. You are the creator of your life's experience, and you can show others how they too can create a positive life experience by your example. Use your GOGI tools to create something positive for everyone. Love, Coach.
Awesome. I like that. I'm going to have to post that. Become a manufacturing plant for positive thoughts. Oh, I love Coach. She's so zen. Okay, so Jason and San Quentin said, it ain't the trials we face that breaks us mentally, emotionally. It's how we were conditioned to cope with such adversities that becomes our downfalls. And even though proper grammar was not used in that statement, it is very, very true. It really is how we're conditioned to deal with things, which is why we need to get the GOGI tools into the hands of children before they're conditioned to deal with things in the wrong way. I think it will help a lot, but that is very, very true. But even if we're conditioned to deal with things in a negative way, are we stuck with that conditioning?
No.
Nope.
Nope. There's always room to change.
We can overcome that, right? There's never a reason where we should say, well, that's just who I am. I can't change. Exactly. Exactly. In fact, the guys that say I can change are the ones that are out right now. You know? So
yep.
They're the pudding. They're the proof in the pudding right there.
Well, Michael better start saying he can't change because I'm getting tired of his ass being in there already. Let's go.
I'm sure you are, and I'm sure you can't get at him. But yeah, Michael does need to change. He does.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's like
that's
that
good.
Now.
Well, he's also in a pretty crap situation right now.
Connie's driving him freaking crazy. That's why.
Yeah. Well, let's just keep feeding him positive thoughts.
Yep.
So as a review then, positive thoughts are ours to create, right? And they can become a natural habit if we practice them enough. That right there reminds me of this Saturday when we were going around and we were all talking, giving a share about how we use 5-second light switch or whatever for this past week. Our peer coach, James Nelson, shared with us something that he's going through personally, and that he realized that without even thinking about it, he's been using 5-second light switch. Even though he wasn't articulating within his own mind that that's what it was that he was using, he realized that he had been using it. So it had become a habit. And I would love it to be where it's habit for me. And so that is something that can become habit as we continue to use it. We don't have to constantly stop and think, about things and think to use our tools. It will become something that's more automatic. So what are the 3 P's that we need to ask ourselves?
Is it powerful, positive, and productive?
And what if it's not? What if it's not all 3 of those?
Then you
should pick something else.
Right. We pick something else, don't we?
Yep.
Okay. I think we have just enough time to just quickly each one of us state what we're going to do this week to try to utilize positive thoughts. So we kind of have a pre-planned attack for anything that might come up that's negative. What are we each going to do to utilize positive thoughts this week? And we'll start with Alfred. Go.
Oh, okay.
Alfred.
Hold on, I had to mute myself.
I'm so sorry, Alfred.
No, that's right. No, I mean on a daily, I always now it's become. I've been doing it for so long that it's I'm always doing the 3Ps. You know, I always measure, and anything that I do, anything I say, anything that I do, and anything that I think, I always measure it now by the 3Ps, because for so long I was negative, and I was caught up in all that negative thinking before. You know, when I was sitting on my pity pot. So now that I don't sit on the pity pot, you know, I'm always using the 3Ps. So that's what I do. You know.
Now you're on the 3P pot. Oh, pity pot to the 3P pot. Somebody draw me that. Somebody draw me Alfred on the pity pot and then Alfred on the 3P pot. I'm telling you. I want that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Going from one pot to the next. I'm drawing it. I already got that.
Oh my.
Okay. Thank you, Alfred.
You're welcome.
All right, Joanne. What you gonna do this week, Joanne, with positive thoughts? And welcome back, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I'm talking away. Be the boss of my brain and wake up every morning and have my morning prayer to get me started and move on with my positive thoughts, because I'm changing my environment soon, so at work. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, well, that's good. That's awesome. So next week we're gonna hear a lot of positive words from you.
Well, actually, in the
Get
next
the
3
lowdown
weeks,
on that.
the next 3 weeks, I'll be in my new job.
That's awesome. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna have to hit you up afterwards about that because that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Rebecca, hit me with your positive thought. Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to not be as negative as I've been lately, and know that if I'm positive, I'll have a better outcome than I would if I was negative.
There you go. There you go. Peer coach Stephen Schrader, what do you got for us?
I'm going to keep reminding myself that I'm only a couple of weeks free, and not everything is going to come to me at once. I have to be patient,
Yeah.
and that all the good things life has to offer will come in their time, not my time.
Yeah. That's a good reminder. Good reminder. Mon.
Yeah, I'm gonna bark.
That's Sammy's job.
Go ahead, Mon.
I am going to remain productive at work and continue to get it's tax season per se is over, but I have, planning for the next year, and I'm going to think positively. I'm going to pass my test for my tax preparer stuff, and I'm going to think positive about all the endeavors that I need to get through this week, which I pretty much do a lot of the time anyway. I always think positively. I just don't always act positive because I feed myself, but I think it's going to be a good week. I can walk.
Well, and you know what? Yes, Monica, it is going to be a good week. It is. That's a very positive thought.
I got checks in today. I'll be able to pay my bills, so I'm happy with that.
Right? That's what I'm talking about right there. Electric's on for another day. Right on.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to. I try to be positive. I don't function well in the negative. It's just not. It's not good for me. There's like nothing that's so bad that we can't get through it. But I think I am a reactor, so I'm very easily negative in spurts, and then in like 5 minutes I'm past it because my ADD has me thinking about something else. I can't remember what I was upset about, but I'm just going to continue the whole stand up and walk away so I don't react. If I can get out of a reactionary type of a thing with positive thoughts happening almost immediately, where I can say exactly what Steven said, this is happening, but it's not happening to me unless I allow it to happen to me. And that honestly is profound for me, because I put myself in the negative that caused me to react. So if I can just step back and like physically step back and act like I'm looking at everything that's going on around me and sit there and laugh, then, you know, it will actually keep me from, you know, losing my Jesus on people. So I think we're good there. That's what I'm going to do.
Good job.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Anybody else? Final thoughts for positive thoughts?
Keep it positive.
I am. What are we going to say? Positive affirmations. Let's be, what's his name? And I can't remember, Guy Smiley? No, what's his name? I love myself. I am good enough. What was that guy's name from Saturday Night Live? I cannot remember his name again. I'll have to post it again. Yeah. And he looks in a mirror, and it's Al Franken. Okay, and he's dressed up as this really weird guy, and he looks at himself and, I am good enough. I am happy enough. I am worthy. So yeah, so let's just Al Franken it up this week. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and who wants to lead us in the GOGI pledge, Rebecca?
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Please repeat after me. May our commitment
May our commitment
May our commitment
to the study of GOGI
to the study of God
grant us the joy
grant us the joy
grant us the joy
of giving and receiving,
of giving and receiving,
so that our inner freedom
so that our inner freedom
may be of maximum service
may be of
maximum service
to those we love
to those we
love
and infinite others.
and infinite others.
And infinite others.
And I did that without looking at the thing too, just to let
Amen.
y'all know.
Oh man, you are sick. Woohoo! Proud of you, girl.
Who's Tamara, the only one who can't memorize it, or what?
Huh?
Yeah, hey. You know, I got a lot of stuff going on up there, okay? Right? I can do it. I just get stuck sometimes. I get, you know, y'all pressure me.
Yeah, you
Okay.
right. I know how you hate the spotlight.
I get y'all pressure me. If I have it in front of me, that's so much easier. I mean, ask me the Cardinals stats, okay? I got that on lock because it's 0. But I mean, the GOGI pledge is rough. Okay. All right. So we invite you to join us for our next meetings to be held next Monday night. Same GOGI time, same GOGI channel, where we will study the GOGI tool. What are we studying?
Positive words.
All right. And as we scroll down and look at PowerUp Phoenix, who represents the PowerUp, we're going to do our 1, 2, 3 GOGI for life. You guys ready? Fists in the air. 1, 2, 3. GOGI for life.
GOGI for life.
GOGI for life. All right. Hey,
it was awesome.
Are you guys okay with me posting this? Was there anything too personal? You're okay?
You're fine on my end.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.